I noticed that Richard Lewis, that instead of trying to help Pringle to look good, he jumping out there and he telling people how Richard Lewis, that Pringle is a dud. And not serious. So you're not helping Pringle, you know. I don't know if you all notice him. He trying to upstage Pringle.
He did with the budget.
Huh?
Because he made comments about the budget, and I haven't heard.
No, he is on a program to embarrass Pringle.
It is obvious.
I'll give you examples. I mean, I served on the Celeste. There are many times I wrote articles Celeste. Nobody knew. Wrote letters to him. I remember, for example, even from the time I got in 1999, by about 2000, when ABI Bank was seeking to buy the domestic arm of the Swiss American Banking Group, Swiss American National Bank. I remember I advised Celeste against it. I asked him to write to the governor to advise the governor not to give any such vesting order. Because he had two weak banks consolidating. I don't know how two weak banks would have ended up in a strong bank. I also wrote in that letter, which was sent to the governor, but he too was so weak that he didn't look at it in any serious way. He didn't act. I also used the point too that the ABI group had so much non-banking entities, including real estate companies and so on, that it would have introduced a significant variability of risk in the bank. Because what would have happened invariably, all of their non-banking entities that they own, they would have funded them using customers' deposits. And that's exactly what happened. So the point we're making here, we predicted that ABI disaster even before the two banks were consolidated into one. And we had written to the central bank at the time. I actually drafted a letter. Celeste signed it and sent it off. And it turned out down the road about a decade later that the fears that we had at the time, that is exactly what materialized. I recall to the late Asset Michael. I mean, many of his speeches I would have written for him. I remember a couple of occasions when DJ Eliza threw me out of Parliament, I just gave him a speech and said, hey, you deliver that. I'm just trying to say that there's a kind of collaboration. What is Richard Lewis doing to help Pringle?
If you were in Richard Lewis' place and the bad play you, why would you, you're probably different. But why would Richard...
Well, look at it this way.
He's a better leader, you just said it. Why would somebody who is trained, Richard is a trained mind, want to be governed by a person who is incompetent, doesn't have the capacity, is not trained, and I am going to, going to not only sit back, but he's going to be the cushion and the prop and the crutch. And
so guess what? He had the opportunity to beat Pringle and did not beat him. And this idea that Pringle spent money, so what? I mean, in all conventions, monies are spent. So if Richard Lewis sat in his behind and didn't raise any money and allowed Pringle to beat him, he has to respect that. I recall, for example, remember I ran against Celeste in 2005, you know. I didn't expect to come anywhere close because I'd only served for 5 years. And I took a strategic position to position myself for future leadership by running. I remember when, late Ferens and many members of the Labour Party who used to tell me I can't win. I say, you can say I can't win, but guess what? I can't lose. Because guess what? I have nothing to lose.
True.
And I have everything to gain. So from the time I challenged Celeste in 2005, even though I was green and everything, already people started to see potential leadership. And what would have happened too? During the convention, they nearly killed me. They robbed me like all around here. And we still got 30-something percent. So I reflected and said, but hold on. Maybe if the contest was fair. And by the way, all is fair in love and war, all is fair in politics. Yeah?
Indeed.
So when I reflected, let me give an example. The youth group, I had it locked down. And Celeste decided, hey, you not bang me, Showed all the members who were on the delegation.
It's politics.
I mean, I put out all you members. Wipe me out completely.
So if you had gotten 36%, with that happening, you have the option.
But hear this now?
The possibility.
Oh, since West had it locked down, Davin was firmly in my corner. So let's just say, Celeste took out Davin and put in Side Green as a chairman. Wipe me out completely.
That's politics.
But of course, but the point I'm making here is it signaled to me that if it was fair, I probably could have surprised him and nipped him. I could have probably gotten 51%.
Yes.
So the point is that even though I lost, I wasn't bitter about it. And that's the difference. You cannot become embittered to the extent you want to hurt your leader.
Yes.
And let me give you a case in point. So by 2009, when we went in elections, our biggest fund at the time was RL in Stanford. And Stanford, was I chairman? I became chairman, I think, Yeah.
In 2009.
Yeah, we're going into 2009 elections. And I think I was made deputy leader too, going into 2009 elections.
Yes.
So I'm the one who was raising the funds. So I met with Stanford. Stanford agreed to give us some money for elections. And he said to me, but I don't want you to give Lester my money. You know what I want to happen? I want you to starve him of cash and let him lose. And then you may emerge. In fact, I shared this with a few of my friends, even Peter Wong and so on. And I remember saying to them, hey, I ain't about in Stanford now. Because if we were to go into the 2009 elections and Lester lost, it'd be pandemonium. The thing would mash up.
I agree.
Because Somali wasn't going to support me. Robin wasn't going to support me. And all three of us would be fighting. The thing will mash up. And you know what I did? I not only gave Lester money, I gave him a lion's share. So like when I get a $200,000, he got 60, 70,000 out of it. I meant he must win. And he won in 2009, came back in Parliament because he was well funded too. But those games have been played in politics in terms of how you use money and so on. So for Richard to come and play cry baby, Pringle bang you, accept it, and support your leader. Now, again, moving forward by 2014, I recognize, boy, Lester can't take it, and I'm not spending another term in opposition. I challenge him again.
Yes.
And Lester so bad, come with the chicory again, yeah? So
politics again.
I had about 15 of the 20 entities supporting me. So what should have happened? Each constituency, they have a women's development officer, and one person for each constituency would have a vote in the convention. Boy, so Lester wiped me out, boy. He appointed all of his members to vote in the convention for the Women's Action Group. I didn't get one. So
one.
Not even one.
Not even one.
So my colleagues were backing me. Those guys said, let's go to court. And I was contemplating, and I maybe even said publicly that we're going to go to court. And then a gentleman by the name of Wright George, well, he called me or sent me a message, whatever it was. But he said, look, Gaston, by the way, I don't know where he got his information from. I don't know where he got the insight from. He said to me, Gaston, you have the ace, the king, and the queen. Give them the jack. After he said that, I said, okay, let's go. Check the Women's Action Group. See, go bang you. Let me bang him off.
Yeah.
He and his team. So, look, maybe I'm sharing insights to help them, and they will consolidate, they'll get stronger. We want a strong opposition because we want to be kept on our toes.
They must